Howdy everyone, it is your boy 40 Card Friedman here, and we are back at it with actually a different video, or a different take on 4-color Saheeli. Things have changed over the last week. So I know that I recorded a video with 4-color Saheeli last week, but I've been doing a lot of time in the lab, and some things are different with the list, and I thought that they were different enough that it was worth our time to record another video. This is going to be the list that I'm going to be playing at the upcoming Grand Prix in New Jersey, and we're going to, check it out, see what it's got to offer, and I think that there is a lot to like about this list. So I'm excited. I think that it is probably, for those of you who are sick of Saheeli Felidar combo, I promise this will be the last 4-color Saheeli video, but I've been excited enough about this list and the changes that I've made that I think it's worth our time to fire off a fresh league and see how we do. So let's take a look at the mana base, and you may see that the number here is decidedly low. That's right. From a 21 land deck, we've cut 1/7 of our mana, and we have gone down to only 18 lands, a very, very low land count. And that may be kind of perplexing to a lot of people, but there is a reason for this. The deck was very susceptible to flooding in the past, and I think that this is the absolute lowest you can go on lands before you start seeing problems with actually being able to get up to the requisite number of mana. But because you have such a large number of 1-mana cantrips to find more lands, generally speaking, it's okay to keep 1-landers with an Oath or an Attune or a Traverse, etc., etc. There will be times when you'll mulligan because you're not going to have the appropriate lands, but I think that the benefits outweigh the costs. So yeah, okay, let's take a look. We got 4 Aether Hub and 4 Botanical Sanctum. That's kind of the core of the deck at this point. We've got 1 Evolving Wilds, 4 Forest, 2 Game Trail, and then, of course, 1 Island, 1 Mountain, and 1 Plains. Very, very lean, low to the ground. We have 15 green sources, which is nice because we are playing not just 3 Attune with Aether, but 2 Traverse the Ulvenwalds, and 4 Oath of Nissa. So this is our cantrip package that helps improve the consistency of the deck immensely. In the early game, these cards are key for finding our mana base and setting us up. And then as the game goes longer, 6 of our 9 1-mana cantrips become creatures or powerful planeswalkers according to whatever we may need. We've also got 2 shocks, which I've been very, very impressed with. I think that Shock is surprisingly good, especially because nobody expects it. We've, of course, got 4 Harness Lightnings, 1 Oath of Chandra. It's still a decent card with a good blink effect, but we have gone down. The Shocks have cut into our Oath of Chandra deck space. We've also, of course, got 4 Servant of the Conduit, and we've got 3 Walking Ballista. I figured, hell, if Mardu can start playing Walking Ballista because it's just such a good card at all points in the game, well, then why can't I? So I'm playing Walking Ballista as the deck's one real mana sink, which is important because you need stuff to do with your mana every turn, and there are a lot of times when this deck will kind of cycle through and get into the mid and late games and then kind of putter out and need to peel Felidar Guardian in order to actually execute the combo. The Walking Ballista and Traverses help improve that consistency a lot. We've also got, of course, 4 Saheeli Rai, 4 Rogue Refiner, still on 3 Whirler Virtuoso, and that's partially because I remain convinced that Whirler Virtuoso is very, very good when you draw 1, but second and third copies are extremely redundant, so I only think 3 is necessary. Of course, we have 4 Felidar Guardian, 2 Chandras, 1 Tamiyo. This is kind of the 60th card right now. It could be a land or a Traverse instead of the Tamiyo, but I'm consistently pretty happy with Tamiyo, so we'll keep it for right now. We also have 1 Big Daddy Gearhulk, and people may say, what the heck's going on here? Well, Gearhulk is it was always on the edge of playability in this deck because you could copy it with Saheeli Rai, you can blink it with Felidar Guardian. It's got a lot of good value. Now with Walking Ballista, it has kind of gone over the line in terms of its playability, and it definitely merits a spot here, especially because you can search it up with Traverse. There have been plenty of games where I have gotten to Delirium, sack an Oath of Nissa to another one, sack my Evolving Wilds, use a Harness Lightning, and then an Attune with Aether, and so that we have instant sorcery land enchantment, for example, or a Servant of the Conduit dies. Pretty easy to hit Delirium. And in turn 4, I play a Walking Ballista or something, and then my opponent, is playing kind of cagey. Then I search up a Verdurous Gearhulk and just slam it down and crush them. Then let's go look at the sideboard. We've still got 2 Authority of the Consuls, as I expect the mirror match will be quite popular, and it is a good safety net. We've got 1 Dispel and 3 Negates. We've got 2 Natural State and 2 Natural Obsolescence, and that's because I was finding Release the Gremlins was clunky, and I just wanted the cheaper instant speed spells. We've got 1 Skysovereign Flagship, which is a decent card in the mirror match and against Mardu vehicles. And we've got 1 Tireless Tracker. Again, it's a Traverse target, while also being a good draw engine against control. And we've got 3 Fevered Visions, which I think is, it's very good against decks like Temur Tower that don't expect you to board into this card, and it is kind of a game plan in and of itself. So that's the scoop where we're at right now. The kind of the cards that are on the edge are the Tamiyo, the Skysovereign in the sideboard. The Tamiyo could become a 3rd copy of Traverse the Ulvenwald. That's quite possible. The Fevered Visions could just become more copies of Tireless Tracker if needed. And the Skysovereign, maybe it's just better as another Verdurous Gearhulk. Those are the questions that we're going to try and answer today. Anyway, let's stop beating around the bush and get right to it and hop into this league. Okay, here we are. We are on the play, and we are definitely keeping this hand. This is a perfect example of the fact that our deck has a high consistency because we can just go land, traverse, get ourselves a mountain. There it is. And now we have all our colors. So our opponent is probably playing Temur Dynavolt Tower. We're going to play this hub and pass it back. And the reason is, if we draw the card Game Trail, we want that basic land in our hand. So let's see what's going on now. People have started to play 1 copy of Lumbering Falls in their 4-color Saheeli decks as a way to mitigate mana screw, or mana flood, excuse me. I think that's okay, but I would rather... Well, interesting. Anyway, we're slamming this Rogue Refiner here. 1, 2, 3. If we get horribly awry'd, that would have been really bad, of course. But, all's well that ends well, right? Then our opponent is probably going to tap out for a Dynavolt Tower here. If we draw an untapped land, great. If not, that's okay. I'm not happy, but that's fine. Okay, we drew another Traverse. Not bad at all. We're going to attack, of course. Here comes the attack. And we Traverse. Get ourselves an island with which we will cast Whirly V. And we are kind of off to the races here. Nope, we're getting countered. Makes a lot of sense. Although our opponent would have maybe been better off actually countering the Traverse. Anyway, we burned our Traverses, which I'm not thrilled with. Ooh, our opponent is going to attune. They're going to have a ton of energy. Fortunately, we are going to play a Chandra and uptick. Here is the Chandra. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we will exile the top card. This card is okay, but not great. I think I'm going to I think I'm gonna. Well, oh, it wasn't a scry. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm messing up. I apologize. I just wasted a bunch of time. My deepest apologies. We're not attacking here because we don't want our opponent to be able to, tower and then kill Chandra with Lumbering Falls. We want to be able to block. Okay. If the opponent goes tower and then Harness Lightning, then we're kind of sad. Interesting the way they tapped there. I guess it doesn't really matter. Alright, well now we're looking a little foolish that maybe we should have gotten in with the Rogue Refiner, because our opponent is likely going to Slam Jam. Yep, that's gone. Okay. Well, fortunately, we can make a Chandra 2, 3, 4. Make red mana and use it to cast a Whirler Virtuoso. And now we are going to start getting a little aggressive here. And we're probably going to end up looking really foolish for not making that cheeky attack earlier, because our opponent would have been at 9, and that would have mattered quite a bit. Our opponent is playing their own Whirler Virtuoso. Interesting. Not a bad choice, to be sure. It is pretty likely. Well, let's see. If our opponent goes Harness Lightning, that's shock. Okay, shock us. Well, that's going to happen. And then burn the energy, Dynavolt us. And then make a Thopter. And then we are going to strike our opponent. And let's see if our opponent, what are they going to do? Natural Obsolescence on the Thopter. Okay. Interesting choice. All right. Very interesting. We are going to, of course, make a Felidar Guardian and blink the Whirler Virtuoso. Yes. And I will shock that. And I'll play this tapped Game Trail. And let's see what our opponent wants to do. If they have Gearhulk, we're in pretty deep trouble. I don't see us winning if they have it. So let's kind of just hope. There is that. And we will attack. play a Felidar Guardian. And rather than open our Felidar Guardian up to if our opponent has an answer for Whirler Virtuoso, we're actually just going to blink the hub here. And so now we're losing 2 potential energy, but our opponent is not able to Harness Lightning us off of our Whirler Virtuoso, or Glimmer of Genius us off our Whirler Virtuoso, or something like that, which would have been really bad. We will make another Thopter, and now we're in full chip shot mode. And our opponent showed no Gearhulk nor a Glimmer of Genius, so they have to have top decked it. No instant or sorcery at all. Alright. We are going to get aggressive here. And yes, if our opponent has the Gearhulk, we're pretty sad. And yes, I know that the Servant of the Conduit ends up looking kind of foolish. Because the Whirler Virtuoso, we would have had... Yeah, okay, you got it. Take 3. Here is a Servant. See how this deck just gets flooded so much? It's crazy. We have 18 lands in our deck. Okay. I'm not particularly mad at that exchange. Our opponent gained a bunch of energy, so they get to kind of... Yeah, they get to free roll that. But we still have these Thopters chipping away. Let's see if our opponent plays a land. Nope. Oh, yep, they played a Canal. That's very good for us. Excellent. We are going to slam Saheeli. Now the big question, are we going to uptick or downtick on the Guardian? I think we are going to just try and win right now. All right, stand back. Have they got a Glimmer? They do. Okay, here's our attack. And we're F6'd, and our opponent's at 2. So now the question is, will we be able to sneak in the last 2 points, despite our cautious play earlier? It's possible. It will require a good draw from us. I believe that our best bet is to shove here. This is important because if our opponent had... Well, let's see if they're going to try and go for the Glimmer of Genius or not. They are. All right. Very interesting. So we end up being punished for our play. very, very early in the game, and the lesson is learned. Okay. Hope we draw a Walking Ballista or a Saheeli Rai. Oath of Nissa. There's a chance. There's Saheeli. Slam. Oh, wait. I guess we should play the hub just in case our opponent has stupid Spell Shrivel in their deck. Alright, that's negated. Still got out with Walking Ballista. Actually, I think we may just be dead here. Yeah. Okay. Close game. And we will head to the sideboard, knowing that we could have won that game with better play. Well, of course, we sideboard in those, and we sideboard in those, and we sideboard in that, and we sideboard out one Saheeli, one Guardian, one Rogue Refiner, and then we sideboard out these Shocks, and we sideboard out the Oath of Chandra, and we sideboard out these Harnessed Lightnings. Now, I do know that my opponent could be playing Dragon Master Outcast, but that's why we've got Walking Ballista. It's very nice that we don't have to keep in Harnessed Lightning because we have Walking Ballista to kind of cover there. So we are still pretty happy with the way that our deck is structured. We could potentially bring in a natural state. I think that's okay. Probably a reasonable one to bring in one of those and cut a Rogue Refiner or a Saheeli Rai. I think it's close. I'll probably... Yeah, sure. Let's cut a Rogue Refiner. Let's do that. Because we're bringing in all these Fevered Visions and Trackers and whatnot. Let's lock that in. I will play first. I will keep. Here we see another reasonable hand in our 18-land deck. Here we go, Botanical Oath. Take a Whirler. Any order. Pass it back. Opponent is attuning with Aether. Attuning with Aether. We're going to go with a Hub and a Swervant of the Conduit. Let's see what our opponent wants to do about that. We are going to go with a Game Trail, reveal a Forest, and cast Whirler Virtuoso. Yeah, we'll cast Whirler Virtuoso. 1, 2, 3. And attack with Servant. Yeah, we want to just not allow our opponent to exploit their negate that they probably have in hand. So they're going to Harness Lightning the Virtuoso. I'm going to make one Thopter. Possible that our opponent had Radiant Flames. I think this is an okay play into that, because then we'll slam the Fever Visions, which will be our general win condition here. We're going to get in a cheeky attack. And now our opponent is thinking. Okay. We're going to go with a Fevered Visions. Red, blue, and there. Almost certainly going to get countered, and we'll counter right back. And our opponent knows we're holding up Negate. Negate, blue, colorless, and now our opponent is going to be really, really hard pressed to beat this. Maybe they should have burned their Harness Lightning on the Servant on turn 2. They end up looking pretty silly. We're going to go with a Saheeli Rai. Doesn't really matter what mana we choose to use. So yeah, I mean, you're seeing here. Okay, let's get Void Shattered. That's fine. Now we're going to go again. Blue, red, white. Again, doesn't particularly matter. Uptick. Bottom that. We don't need it. And there it is. And we drew a Dispel. That's a pretty good card. There's the Dynavolt. Our opponent taking chip shots, of course, as has become standard. We will Attune. We can find ourselves a nice island here. We can uptick. Put it on top. Attack. Now we end up looking kind of silly as we're going to use this Felidar Guardian. We didn't need to, we should have bottomed that, I suppose, or just waited. Now we might brick. Alright, no, we didn't brick. We're going to get a Whirler. Any order. Send it back. Harness Lightning the Guardian. I guess I'll Dispel. It's kind of a case of smoke if you got him, I guess. And this is a very pleasant position for us to be in, as we've basically got our opponent pinned under this Fevered Visions. We are going to Attune. Get a little extra energy for our troubles. Have a nice mountain. Play the mountain. Uptick the Saheeli. Put that on the bottom. We're going to get in a cheeky attack here. Hiya! Okay. Nice K return. So there was something there. And then we will, of course, slam, jam, thank you, ma'am, this post-combat Whirler Virtuoso. And we get a free magic card. Our opponent anticipates. So our opponent is under immense pressure here and is basically stuck. I have a hard time imagining what they could do to get out of this. But we are seeing a little bit of a... Yeah, okay, they have Outcast. Cool. Hey, so what? I like Outcast. And they're anticipating. I'm anticipating that they're going to concede in the next minute and a half or so. Make a Thopter. Make a Thopter. And now we're F6'd. Shock a Thopter. Yep, that keeps them under the Fevered Visions for a turn. And now we are going to play Tireless Tracker. 1, 2, 3. Guess we'll go with a, yeah, the Plains is fine. We will play the Hub, get a clue. Uptick, put that on the bottom, break the clue. Man, for a deck with 18 lands, we sure have drawn a lot. Our opponent gets a dragon. So I have a hard time imagining us not winning. There aren't very many lands left in the deck. So let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lands here. And we know that we scribed that one forest to the bottom. So there's like 7 lands and like 34 cards or something. Our opponent is playing Verdurous Gearhulk for Harness Lightning, probably. All right. And Saheeli goes to 6. Our opponent has another Shock. They get out from under. Another Outcast, okay. But unfortunately, well, let's see. Yep, that'll finish it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we do eventually win. Okay, so we see, of course, our opponent is packing as we expected. Tower, Gearhulk, Dragon Master Outcast, and Walking Ballista is great here. I think if our opponent is packing K-Return, good that we cut to 2 Rogue Refiners. I don't think I really want Harness Lightning in the deck. We have 2 Chandras, 3 Walking Ballistas, as answers to the Dragon Master, and yeah, all right, let's rock and roll. And this hand is okay. I'm going to I'll take a mulligan. And this hand is alright. I will bottom that as we need to draw something that we can use to get mana. We just bottom that. Alright, whatever. Well, if we draw a land, we're very happy. We have 15 out of 52. Nope. And we have 15 out of 51. And we are going to die horribly this game. And I expect... Alright, well, it's a start. It was 2 turns too late, but might end up coming through for us. Yeah, no, we're so far behind here. That's alright. Maybe we should have kept that first hand. I don't know. It was really awkward. Not sure. And of course, yeah, we get all of the stuff. We can play a Whirler Virtuoso. Alright. And then we're going to play Oath Saheeli. And then we're going to try and stick a Fevered Visions. There is Oath. Take Mountain. There is Saheeli. Maybe they want to resolve their Glimmer of Genius? No. Okay. I think we're gonna stick with the plan here. Mountain, Fevered Visions, red, blue. There's that. Actually, that's fine. Mainly because we can only win this game if we draw a Traverse, and we'd like to protect it with Negate. Okay. Felidar Guardian. 1, 2, 3, 4. Blink Oath. Yes. get Chandra. Whew. Okay. And we're going to take 6 here. We'll go with a Chandra. And I guess we're probably just dead. Yeah, there's the Gearhulk. Alright, yeah, we lose. C'est la vie. And we'll be back for round 2. Alright, here we are for round 2, and we are going to play first, and we'll snap this hand off. We're going to start with Evolving Wilds for a mountain. And pass the turn. We will go with a Botanical Sanctum, and yeah, I mean, sure, why not? I'll fire off the Oath of Chandra. Might as well use our mana, right? Okay, so this 18 land deck, let's not draw any more lands, shall we? Alright, another land. So, they're playing scared, excellent. Just what I like to see when we're getting mana flooded. Now they do it. Interesting. Well, I will Harness Lightning that. There's another. I could have probably figured that one out. That means it's time for our game trail. Probably going to see a Gideon here. No? Okay. Well, we are going to, of course, Harness Lightning. Come on. Oh my goodness. Alright. Let's draw a Felidar Guardian. Or Rogue Refiner. Alright. Not bad. Okay, we lose. Yeah, this one's over. Alright, we'll be ready to play first in game 2. Man, we did not draw very many spells that game. Natural State, Natural Obsolescence, Tireless Tracker is not good. Skysovereign, that's what we want. Goodbye Chandra, goodbye 1 Saheeli, 1 Felidar, and 1 Rogue Refiner. And we could cut another for a Negate. Generally the Mardu Ballistas do go a little bigger. Is there something could we play another Negate? over any of these? Probably not. Let's stick with this. Alright, so we will play first, and we'll keep. I have a sinking feeling that history may end up repeating itself here. No, our opponent is mulliganing a bunch. Lucky for us. That is going to be gone, and we are going to find a mountain. And here comes Oath of Nissa. And we whiff. Cool. Always enjoy that. Happens every once in a while. Doesn't make it any less tilting. We will go with Game Trail, reveal Forest, play Rogue Refiner, blue, green, red. Probably draw land here. Ooh, Traverse. That's not very good right now, but it'll be good later. Looks like our opponent is as frustrated as we are. We will make a Forest, or an Aether Hub, excuse me, and play a Servant of the Conduit and get aggressive. That's a Scrounger. That is a Toolcraft. Interesting choice. We are going to play the Forest and another Servant. Oh look, our 18-land deck is getting flooded. Well, not much to do here. Can't really profitably attack. Actually, I suppose we could. Might be better, actually. And then we just get rid of it now. We're going to kill the Toolcraft first, of course. We are thrilled to make these exchanges. Our opponent, lacking red mana, is probably not happy. Okay, we have instant creature lands, so we can cast Traverse, get a Plains, play said Plains, cast Traverse, opens up our entire deck to us, get a Verdurous Gearhulk, I suspect. It's either that or Felidar Guardian. Or Walking Ballista, I suppose. I think it's Gearhulk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hulk. 1. Like so. That seems fine. Rawr. And we win. Nice. Okay. We'll fire this off again, I suppose. This is a fine hand. Not thrilling, but it's fine. We're going to get to Walking Ballista, shoot a Toolcraft Exemplar, and then cast a Rogue Refiner. We'll sneak. And then it's our opponent's upkeep. So they're leading us off with Toolcraft Exemplar. We will play Sanctum. Pass. That is a Scrappy-Doo. There is the Hub. Ballista. And send it back. There is the attack. Our opponent missing land drops. Yeah, they have a Toolcraft, but they don't want to lose it. We are going to play a Forest and a Rogue Refiner. 1, 2, 3. We will gamely accept. Then we will play the Plains and the Felidar Guardian. Blink the Refiner. Yes. And now we have the combo on the table, which is nice. Crew, yep. Well, we're snapping this block on the Scrounger with the Guardian. There's the Disintegration. And we are going to have to block here. And now we're going to play Hub. And red, blue, white, Saheeli. Put that on the bottom. And let's see what our opponent wants to do. Harvester at Saheeli, Inspector at me? Interesting. I suppose I'll Harness Lightning the Harvester. No. Harvester at Saheeli, Inspector at me. That's really weird. What does that mean? It means I'm going to have to harness lightning this. Alright, we go to 4. Now that's interesting. So if our opponent has shock, we lose. Is what I'm seeing here. Guardian. Flicker a hub. Yes. Alright, our opponent conceded. So we are the champion. Excellent. Go us. We will be back for round 3. Okay, here we are for round number 3. We won the die roll, so we're going to play, and we are snapping it off. So we're going to go with a Botanical Sanctum and an Attune with Aether. And we will get ourselves a Plains. Dante 1899 is our opponent this time. And we will go with a... I guess we can just go Botanical Sanctum Ballista. And now we are going to get an opportunity to see if Ballista is any good. Alright. Would you look at that? Another land! We will, of course, harness lightning that bad boy. And strike aggressively. Another flare. And this time we will play our Plains that our opponent should know about from earlier. We're going to put a +1/+1 counter here. We will make the attack. See if our opponent wants to block. They want to block. Okay, great. Now we can traverse for another one. I actually quite like making this trade because turning on Traverse is well worth it. We will play a Hub, Traverse, for a Ballista, play said Ballista. Okay. We will trade our Fatal Push and our Ballista for our opponent's Ballista. And Mind Rack Demon, interesting. We are going to, of course, slam a Gearhulk after a quick trip to the Oath of Nissa factory. Ooh, wow. Well, let me tell you about these. Those are 3 strong magic cards. I believe that Felidar Guardian is the pick here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So, if we peel a Saheeli in any of the next top 4 cards of our deck, we will win. Which is always a nice thought. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Of course, we have not done that. And we probably lose as a result. '18-land deck, my left foot. Alright, we still got another chance. That will probably not be terribly helpful, but whatever. Alright. That's the card they drew this turn. They have Trample, so it's not really any use making a bunch of Thopters. I guess I can make a Thopter now. Doesn't really matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, we're still dead, I think. We're 1 Thopter short. Or 1 mana short. That's okay. So, I don't know. I mean, we end up... Yeah, I mean, that's a Gearhulk. Okay, we're dead. So we end up looking... I don't think we look foolish. I mean, I don't know. We just drew 9 lands. And not quite as many spells. Natural Obsolescence is good here. Tireless Tracker is good here. Skysovereign is okay, but not great. Whirler Virtuoso is pretty mediocre here. I'm going to cut 2 of those. Rogue Refiner can probably go. Shock is decent. Harness Lightning and Oath, obviously, quite good. I'm going to probably keep the complete combo. And I don't think I really want Skysovereign. Nothing I particularly wanted over. So we're going to rock and roll with this. Whirler Virtuoso is pretty underwhelming against Mindrack Demon. And Gearhulk, and of course... I guess Skysovereign is good if our opponent has Mindrack Demon. Maybe it's better than... I don't know. I think I'm just going to keep it like this. Yes, I would like to play first. And I will keep. And we will see if this 18 land deck gets 9 lands again. Okay, we're going to go with a Servant here and hope to make a Tamiyo the subsequent turn. Actually, what we could do is Servant Ballista and then Tamiyo the next turn. That would be a pretty big play. It would lose to Flaying Tendrils, but I have a really, really, really hard time imagining my opponent boarding that card in. So we are going to do it. And our opponent with no Flaying Tendrils. Whew! Dodged a bullet. Interesting options here. I think I'm just going to slam the Tamiyo and attack. So we're going to make white, green, colorless, blue. 1, 2. Attack, attack. And we'll see. It seems unlikely that my opponent has any removal, or they would have used it to shut off my servants. So we're pretty happy here. We have pulled significantly ahead. Oath for Saheeli Rai should be quite good. Yeah, I mean, this game is over. Our opponent has not done anything. Okay. Here is a combo. Alright, we will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Guardian. Guardian will blink a hub. Our opponent is conceding. Nice. I always enjoy that. Now the question is, Skysovereign. How do we feel about a Skysovereign? I suppose it would come in over Saheeli. These are reasonable. Yeah, I'm okay with it. A question could arise about if we want Negate, but I don't think that we do. Especially on the draw. This is probably going to be one of the games where we don't draw any lands. Nice. Here is a Swervant. And we will take that Grim Flayer damage gamely on the chin in order to cast a Chandra. Wow! That is great for us. Really, really good. Wow. Well, I did not expect that. That is very, very interesting. Okay, I think I figured it out. We're going to cast a Chandra. 1, 2, 3, 4. There is Chandra. We're going to add 2 red, play Walking Ballista. Now we have this monster threat that our opponent has to contend with. It took me a minute. There were a lot of options in my hand, so I'm sorry if everyone is freaking out saying, "Why did it take you so long, big dummy?" So 3, they could kill Chandra. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. If my opponent wants to attack with Grim Flayer and Chandra, and then ping it down with Walking Ballista, that's okay with me. So now we are Wow, this game is complicated. We're going to start by attacking Nissa. That will inform our decision. Okay. Next, we're going to traverse. One, two, three. I think that the card we want here is an island. And then we're going to play it and cast Rogue Refiner. Green, red, blue. This game got really complicated. Opponent has artifact and creature. Artifact, creature, land now. Alright, big Rishkar. We are just going to gamely take it on the chin. Whew, a lot of options. Okay, we're going to attack with a Rogue Refiner. That's dead. Then we are going to break an Evolving Wilds. Getting a tapped Plains. We're going to cast Oath of Nissa. Getting a Walking Ballista. And finally we will cast this here, Felidar Guardian, blinking the Oath. Yes. And we whiff. That's good. So that is pretty painful for us here. It seems pretty likely that our opponent has Fatal Push because they saved their Evolving Wilds. But definitely possible. I mean, they shuffled it in the end step after they milled 2 with Grimflayer. It's a little odd, but no matter. Let's see what our opponent is capable of now. Alright. Seems like we will be able to win if we draw exactly... Well, I mean, our opponent probably has Fatal Push, in which case we're kind of stuck under the push. I was going to say we might be able to win if our opponent... if we draw a removal spell. Interesting choice here. Yep, that's 9. I will not block. We're at 6. And now we're basically hoping to draw a removal spell and that our opponent does not have Fatal Push. Okay, now we are pretty much dead. It's hard for me to imagine a scenario where we make it out alive here. Yeah, I mean this will be an interesting one to go over afterwards because there were so many weird turns where I had a lot of options. Like that turn I could have played the Chandra on turn 3, but I just opened it up to instantly dying. Yeah, we are certainly stuck here. I can make a Ballista. X is 2. Or I could make Tracker Whirler. Whirler seems like the first step to not dying. Could do Whirler and then Ballista for 1. We got a lot of chump blockers there. Starts with Whirler. Probably going to need this. Actually, what if we just make it a Tireless Tracker? Then can we maybe survive? Are we just putting ourselves to dead on board? I'll make a Tireless Tracker. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? We die? We would probably die anyway. Yeah, that Walking Ballista is going to punish us. That's alright. Man, now our opponent is thinking. That's always good. Get your opponent thinking. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're not beating that. Too much power. And no respect to even... yeah, I mean, we can block that there, we can block that there, we can block that there, and that, yeah, we're still super dead. Alright, you win. Okay, we're 1-2, and I thought that my deck was good. Let's try and turn around in these last two. Okay, here we are, back at it again for round number 4, and we are going to keep this hand. Opponent's upkeep. Man, no matter what, I am going to be kind of excited about the fact that I was able to play an 18-land deck in Standard. Even if I don't end up doing that well at the tournament. But I think I will, because I think this deck is mighty nice. So, I believe that the card we want here is Island. Yeah. Since we're probably going to go Harness Lightning into Rogue Refiner. Oh, no. Alright. Have a hub. And the opponent is playing Dynavolt. Okay. Interesting. Man. We look very foolish now, playing the hub. We'll go with a Rogue Refiner. Okay. Opponent going with a Rogue Refiner. Interesting. Game Trail, reveal a mountain. We could try and get in an attack here, but I don't really like the risk of our opponent blocking, so we're just gonna play it more safe and just make a Felidar Guardian. Yes. I wonder what our opponent is up to. Very suspicious. Very, very suspicious. Okay, well, here goes... Oops. Undo. Blue. Red. That. Here goes nothing. Do you have a Negate? Or a Harness Lightning? I don't really know what your deck does. We're gonna try it. That's a Harness Lightning. All right. Let's see what our opponent is up to now. Interesting. What in the world? Oh, it's just the same. It's just the mirror match, but they're just playing Nissa and Heart. It took me a while to figure it out. That's for damn sure. Whew. This is weird. Weird deck. One, two, aiming at Saheeli. And 1, 2, aiming at me. Block this one, aiming at Saheeli. Harness Lightning this one. Okay. Don't fail me now. Here's Attune. Here's a Plains. And how'd I do? Yup. And how'd I do? And we're dead. Alright, well, that was a valuable lesson learned. Do not go for it against the deck that goes Nissa, Rogue Refiner, hold up a bunch of mana, I suppose. Useful lesson. Woo-hoo-hoo! We're going to get another crack at it. Which is always neat. So what is this deck? Good lord. Well, next turn we're going to be able to go Attune, Whirler, Servant, and make a bunch of chump blockers. And then Felidar and try and flicker and win. 4, 10, 13, 14. Oh no, we're just actually dead. Alright, well, that's cool. And our opponent is playing a very odd deck. So, 1 Tracker, 1 Skysovereign. I suppose Authority of the Consuls is likely okay. Maybe just not. Tamiyo seems medium. Maybe I just don't really want to change too much at all. I'm just cutting a Tamiyo for a Skysovereign here. Yeah. Yeah, sure, what the heck. I don't even know if that's a good change. Maybe I would be better off not sideboarding at all. I do not know. But I will play first, and I will... I'll keep it. I've been punished by hands like this before. But there's a lot to like about this hand. Do not fail me now. Okay. Pass. We get probably one more shot before we die. Hub. Nice. Rogue Refiner. Green. Colorless. Blue. Okay. We're definitely not out of the woods yet, but we can play. I'll make that trade. Okay. Such a weird deck. Blue-green. One, two, three, four. You have a counterspell? Really? What is going on here? Man. This is a weird deck. Okay. It's like the combo deck, but it just is playing a ton of weird cards. Although I'm one to talk, right? I'm doing basically the same exact thing. I assume it has to have Saheeli in it. Somewhere. Very odd. Man, we are pretty far behind here. We're going to get a mountain. I don't even know what to do. I'm astonished. I'm flabbergasted. We got disallowed out of this game. Man, 1, 2, 3. That's a Whirler Virtuoso. And then 1, 2, 3. That's a Whirler Virtuoso. The authority here is really painful for us. We're taking a ton. Yeah, we're just super dead. Yeah, whatever. I guess I'll make some Thopters. 1, 2. We can really only make 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can do it x equals 3. Maybe there's something there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Shoot a Thopter. Shoot a Thopter. That's immediate. We want to cut them down now because we need to keep our opponent from being able to crew Heart as easily. If they want to crew with all their ground creatures, that's fine, I suppose. We can still draw a Harness Lightning. That would get us out of this. Alright, well, we're certainly chumping. Maybe our opponent drew land. Ouch. Well, goodbye, Thopter. One, 2, 3, 4. Vomit. Send it back. Whew. Chomp. Attune. Get an island, I suppose. No, plains. Play the plains. Play Chandra. Come on. How can we win? I think we have to hit a good card on top. Okay, we're going to cast that. Get a Ballista. Cast a Ballista. No, I mean, we're just dead, actually. We're dead on board. Alright, well played, Kuchinawa. Your no combo 4-color deck defeated ours. Because I got greedy in game 1, and because you had authority in game 2, and heart, and I got my Planeswalker countered. Okay, that's enough for me. Very interesting. Alright, well, we'll be back for round 5 just for fun anyway. Okay, here we are for the 5th and final round, and we will keep. And this is a pretty good hand. The opponent is mulliganing. Great. So we will start with an Evolving Wilds and fetch out a Forest. And that will start everything off. So there we go. And passing it back. Okay, opponent is attuning with Aether. Getting a mountain. We will also attune with Aether. Getting a mountain. And play the hub. And then we're going to cast the Oath. Finding ourselves a hub. Okay. So now the opponent passes back to us, which means it is time to go Mountain Rogue Refiner. That was wrong, actually, because we could draw Game Trail. Messing up, Ben. Messing up. Alright, we got land sorcery thus far. Not bad. We will attune. And we will get this island, which we will play, of course, and then we will attack. And here, here is Whirler Virtuoso. We want to apply a little pressure. Alright. And send it back. Why did they let me get the trigger? Whatever. Tyler the Creature. I guess this person is riffing off Tyler the Creator. They're anticipating. And they play a Sanctum. Not bad for us. That's good. We can go with a Tamiyo here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't have to burn the energy, luckily. That will punish our opponent severely. I expect the concession now, but maybe our opponent wants to stick it out. We have creature, sorcery, land, so instant, enchantment, planeswalker, artifact, all do it for us. Here we are upticking on these two little guys. And then we're going to attack. And we're going to draw some extras. We're going to play a tapped Botanical Sanctum. Send it back. So let's see. Opponent is super behind. We've got a Planeswalker. We've got all these sweet cards in our hand. 3 colors and artifacts. Awesome stuff. We can use the second oath to break the first oath to get Delirium to traverse. We could... yeah, I mean, there's just any number of awesome plays we could make. If we want to get really fancy, we could Ballista for 0 to traverse immediately to Gearhulk our opponent out. But I think that's getting a little bit greedy. We will just pick those 2 Thopters again. And strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Harness Lightning, okay. We're gonna attack. So our opponent going to 8. My opponent's being friendly. Okay, we're going to draw more magic cards. And we're just going to run our opponent over. We have an embarrassment of riches now. We're going to Oath. And now we have Delirium. We will take Felidar Guardian, any order. We will cast Felidar Guardian. We will blink the Rogue Refiner. We're gonna blink the Rogue. Whew. Hoping for a miracle. Okay. Well, I'm hoping for you too, buddy. Okay. I will use the ability. I will draw an extra, play a Sanctum, and pass back. Wow. So we basically... Yeah, I mean, this game is over. Hub. Oath. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I'll just pick Thopter and Rogue. And we'll attack. Hiya. Shielded Aether Thief, huh? Alright. Opponent draws a card. They go to 6. We draw 2. And then we can cast a... I don't even know. An Embarrassment of Riches, right? 1, 2, 3. Here's Saheeli. Uptick. Put that on the bottom. Play Servant. And then the opponent goes to 2. Or no, 3. Excuse me. Okay, I think that's that. Wrap it up. Alright. So now we're going to sideboard. Our opponent is Tower, right? So these, this, board out. Rogue, Guardian, Saheeli, shock, whoop, get out. Jam. Not bad. I'll snap that off. So, opponent is attuning. We're going to fetch a mountain. There is a mountain. And our opponent is probably stuck. I don't know. Passes to us. Play a Ballista. Yep. And now our opponent will, I don't know, slam a tower? Nope. We will attack, as has become the norm. 1, 2, 3. Might get that disallowed. Rebuff. Oh, I will not pay 2. Kind of sick that our Walking Ballista just played around that revolutionary rebuff. That's funny. Now this next turn, we're probably going to play Servant and hold up Negate for the. Oh, all right. I was gonna say play Servant and hold up Negate for Glimmer, but now that seems less necessary. We will attack with Walking Ballista. And that's that. And I suppose this Servant is fine. Probably gonna get Anticipate again. Oh, Harness Lightning. Shoot ya. Now, our Negate is going to put us to the requisite 4 types for Traverse. Hub. 1, 2, 3. Rogue Refiner. And let's see if we get Glimmer of Genius in response. Disallow. I'll negate, sure. That is the 4th. We are going to actually just attack here. All right. Let's see. What's next? Our opponent still doesn't have Gearhulk up. Let's attack. And then we're going to play a land. 1, 2, 3, 4. Blink Rogue Refiner. Yep. Play Oath. Yes, nah. We can save that for next turn. We can just cast a Servant. Alright, do not play a Sweeper. No Radiant Flames, please. Oh, rebuff. Okay. Bad. Big bad rebuff. Good thing we played that land first. Our opponent again missing a land drop. Lucky for us. We will play Oath. Take Gearhulk. I suppose, or maybe just Ballista. Ballista is probably fine here. We will cast a Ballista for X equals 2. Yeah, actually. Let's actually make a Whirler Virtuoso. I want to see if my opponent has the Gearhulk. There's the Gearhulk. So, okay. Now we'll traverse. And we will get ourselves a Verdurous Gearhulk. And then we will play a mini Ballista. And send it back. So now our opponent is unlikely to attack, right? Yep. Our opponent, there's no counterspell in our opponent's yard. Let's just play another Ballista. I think this is a spot where, yeah, we do cast the Hulk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Two and 2. And have you got a Gearhulk? They've got a Harness Lightning. I will shoot you in response. Okay. So now we have a Ballista that our opponent has to find a way to answer appropriately, or they will lose. Play the Forest. Lovely. And pass. And our opponent's upkeep, we'll use it. We'll put a counter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put another counter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's... Alright, we win! Go us! Alright, nice. We played... I don't know if we played that well, but we won, so scoreboard, right? Alright, well, this was a pretty disappointing league all in all. Some plays that I made, especially in round 1, come back to bite me, but all in all, I'm still pretty interested in this deck and exploring it. I do think, though, that there is going to be a ban pretty soon. Probably going to ban Felidar Guardian. Anyway, regardless, this should be valuable for those of you who, well, provided that there is not a ban, this will be a valuable and useful experience. And just seeing some of the different strengths of ways to prevent this deck from flooding out quite so much. Anyway, I will catch you all later.